If you can't win on the road, can you win the playoffs? That is today's million-dollar question. Hello and welcome to Fox Sports Lab NBA. I'm your host, Ben Dixon, and joining me, the guy with a beard to make Santa blush, NBA expert Jaymz Clements. Welcome, Jaymz.
Thanks, Dicko. I'm basically like reverse Santa. Put me in a white suit, put me on a sleigh, and away we go.
I'll put you on a sleigh, all right. Coming up, the importance of winning on the road. We shine a light on Aussie Dyson Daniels, and Carlos Boozer joins us for an NBA Christmas wish list. Who are the road dog kings, and just how important is it to win away from home when it comes to the pointy end of the season? Well, let's find out. Jaymz, Boston have won 4 of the past 6 straight on the road. How crucial is it to set a winning standard in enemy territory?
Well, it's crazily important, Dicko, obviously, because what happens in the playoffs, you got to play on the road. But this is one of the most fascinating wrinkles of the NBA over the last 3 seasons with the sort of COVID restrictions and everything. We saw teams in the last 18 months have to win on the road again, and it's gotten a lot harder. Because if you think back to the bubble, you're playing in a neutral site, right? We have the Lakers win their Mickey Mouse title down there in Orlando. You love to see that. And it got easier to win on the road during COVID restrictions because you had limited people in there watching you, cheering for your home team, etc. And we saw, I think in 2021, home court advantage dipped to the lowest point it literally ever been in the history of the NBA. It was like down below 55%. That bumped back up a little bit last year, and it's absolutely flying again this year. So if you can't win on the road, you don't have too much of a chance because there's only, I think, 8 teams above 500 on the road so far this season. It just shows how hard it's been to start this season to go out there and actually win in enemy territory. Like the best road teams last year, we saw them. It was like Phoenix, Philly, Memphis, and Denver. The craziest part to me was that basically they're all getting knocked out before the conference finals, which is absolutely gnarly. But some of the best teams, last year win on the road. This year, the 2 best teams are dominating. Boston, Milwaukee. It's such a big thing to basically go out there, win on the road because you're setting a standard. You can win in a playoff series on the road. That's how you win a playoff series. You win it quickly, you win it easily, and that's an absolute hallmark of a great team to win on the road.
All right, what about the teams who get homesick the minute they leave town? Let's talk about the numbers. So the Lakers, 35% on the road, and then we've got the Suns at 30% and Golden State in a lowly 14%. Is that bad signs coming into the playoffs?
It actually kind of is. Like 2/3 of the season still to go, but they've got to bump those numbers right up, Dicko, because you have to be around the top 10 on the road with your road record to have any sort of success in the playoffs, right? Last year's top 4, basically the conference finalists, they were I think Golden State were 11th. They were above 53.5%. That was the lowest win percentage on the road that you could have and actually still be a conference finalist. So when you talk about the Lakers, you talk about Golden State, you talk about Phoenix, this is starting to become an actual worry. Like, these are meant to be dominating teams. They're meant to be contenders. If they can't get it back up above that sort of 54% road, winning percentage, it's going to be a problem. Yeah, they've got to lift their game. It's absolutely crazy. This got to get away from them really quickly. And you've seen it like winning consistently on the road with Boston, with Milwaukee. Look, my big thing for this though is when you're looking at those teams on the road and the bad ones, look at the point spreads on the road as well.
Yeah, there's some good numbers.
You can always back the ones on the road that aren't winning.
Well,
the opposite way.
Well, the Pelicans copped a wake-up call on Wednesday, the Jazz. But we continue to be impressed by, guess what, another Aussie rookie in Dyson Daniels, don't we?
He's been amazing. He's been absolutely amazing. So he basically started in place of Herb Jones and Brandon Ingram, right? The coolest part is, Dicko, he absolutely demolished in that role. The cool thing is, he's awesome. He's been flying. His bench numbers, though, are even better. Like, he's been amazing in his role. And this is the thing about the NBA. You can be a superstar in your role, Dicko. That's what it's all about, right? You can go out there, you become valuable for your team. He's been shooting it better off the bench. He's at about 54% versus 44% as a starter. So when he's playing against that quality competition, the numbers obviously dip. But he's only 20 games into his NBA career. The dude's flying. He's averaging basically a stock, which is a steal and a block per game. So he's defensively been incredible. But my favorite thing about watching Dyson Daniels play is he can be your defensive man at the point of attack, and he can go down low and hold his own because of his size, his strength, which is pretty incredible for a dude his age, to go against the likes of like Chris Paul and stuff like that. So the stardom, basically, we don't know if he's going to be a superstar, but as I said, you can be a star in your role and be incredibly valuable in the NBA at the moment. And Dyson is absolutely flying. He's in a great position, right? playmaking, defense. They don't need him to do too much more. The Pelicans are awesome. Dyson Daniels awesome as well.
Well, you said he can't do too much more. Can he keep the momentum going, though, when the starters are back?
Can he? Yes.
I knew it was there.
Will he? Also, yes. When those starters come back, he's going to be fine because, as I said, he's a better bench player at the moment than he is as a starter. So going against the second units, he'll be flying.
All right, I'm tipping this won't be the last time we talk about Dyson Daniels or the Pelicans this season, so watch this space.
The betting brand for sports fans. That's better. Gamble responsibly.
NBA fans are in for a mega treat on Christmas Day with 5 bumper games. So let's get straight into the festive mood as we welcome back our 2-time All-Star, Carlos Boozer. Welcome, Carlos.
Hey, thanks for having me back, guys.
Well, we're going to start with you, Jaymz. Now, we've got the first game here, Knicks and the 76ers. What are you knocking out of this clash?
Well, this is such a great setup, Dicko, for Christmas Day because you just love to see the Knicks fans be disappointed on Christmas. You hate to see that, don't you? I'll tell you that much. No, but I want the Sixers to get a nice, delicious, big serving of one Will Barton, an athletic wing. Can I get a present for this Sixers team? I just want one athletic wing who can get out there on the break, get them some easy transition points. It's like the one thing that team's really lacking is just sort of that weird athletic wing who can play a bit of defense, fill it up when needed. They've got Tobias Harris, they've got PJ Tucker. These are older, sort of bigger wings. I just sort of need that other guy. You can play next to Harden, next to our man Tyrese Maxey, and away we go. That's what Santa should bring the Sixers for me. That's what I want in this clash. I want them to make the move right now, Dicko. Let's see it happen.
Geez, you brought some energy early. Carlos, now, Knicks or the 76ers for you?
Yeah, I'm going with the upset. I think Santa Claus is going to bring an incredible, enthusiastic Julius Randle. I think he has one of his best games on Christmas night, goes home after the win, gets a great big present from his family, enjoys a great meal after a big win against the Sixers.
Now, don't be fooled on this one, Carlos. I am sitting next to Santa Claus with a red beard, but in this one, for the present side of things, the Mavs or the Lakers, which one are you going with?
I'm going with the Lakers in this one. Obviously, we all love Luka Magic. He's been on fire this season, but I've been kind of watching the Lakers in this trend of how AD's been picking up his play. LeBron's picking up his play as well, even though he's always pretty much great. Russell Westbrook has settled into that role off the bench very nicely. I know they're lacking some perimeter shooting a little bit in Laker land, but I like how their 3 stars are playing. I think the Lakers find a way to win this game.
All right, Santa, Mavs or the Lakers?
I just love the Mavs, you know that. This is how we go. But I reckon, like Carlos hit on a really great point there, both of these teams need Santa to bring them a shooter. Like just one of them just to hang out, just a dead-eye shooter for both these teams. That'd solve a lot of their problems. I'd say Eric Gordon floating around. You can probably go get him for cheap off Houston. Santa, chuck that in his sack and away we go. But I think the Mavs will be good in that one.
Oh, I love your analogies as you throw. All right, now the Celtics and the Bucks. James, where are you leaning?
I'm going to have to go probably on Christmas. Look, what a great matchup this is. You've got the greens. I love the green colour. It's Christmassy. It's very Christmassy. What the Bucks need for this Christmas is they need a shiny new Jay Crowder. He's not that new. He's been around a while, but he's exactly what they need. There's been a 3-team trade that's been sort of talked about the last few weeks or so. They need another big wing once they get Jingle and Joe Ingles. Talk about jingle bells there, Dicko,
yes.
Right there. We need him back soon enough. Bit of a Christmas carol for you. But they actually need a couple of big wings. If they go get Jay Crowder, and if they have Joe Ingles back later in the season, they are laughing. But these are the 2 best teams in the NBA. I'm probably going to be leaning towards the Bucks on Christmas. I just think they have just that big game sort of momentum behind them. And Giannis is absolutely flying, obviously. But give me a shiny new Jay Crowder for Christmas. Chuck that in your Santa sack and away we go. Let's go Bucks.
Mate, your Santa sack is absolutely chockers already, and we've just started this segment. All right, now, Carlos, he's going with the Bucks. Are you leaning to the Celtics?
I'm actually leaning to the Bucks as well. I think the Bucks. I think this is a great matchup, like James said. These are the 2 best teams, not only in the Eastern Conference but in the entire league right now. I'm going on a limb, giving you a little insight. I think whoever wins this matchup in the Eastern Conference Finals is going to come out and win the NBA championship this year. I think it's going to be a great game on Christmas. And for the Bucks, they need a completely healthy roster. They haven't had a full healthy roster all season. They start the season off without Middleton. Now they get him back, and now Drew Holiday is out. So The hope is that they can have Chris Middleton healthy, have Drew Holiday healthy, obviously have the big fella Giannis healthy, and the rest of that squad. If that happens, I got the Bucks on Christmas.
All right, I'm going to stick with you, Carlos, on this one. So we've got the Warriors and the Grizzlies up next. Now, like a turkey, who's stuffed in this one?
Ooh, that's a good one, too. That's going to be a great game on Christmas. I'm going to be right in front of my TV with all my fix and just watching the game. I love Steph Curry. I think he's on fire. I think Klay Thompson is coming along as well. I'm kind of worried about the Grizzlies' health. The Grizzlies need everybody to be healthy. Maybe they get Bane back. Maybe they get Brooks back. They kind of been banged up with big fella Jackson in and out the lineup. I'm going with the Warriors. I just don't see the Warriors losing on Christmas Day.
Well, your Santa sack is stuffed. What about your stocking? Have you got? Who are you going to put in your stocking? The Warriors or the Grizzlies?
How about we pop the young guys from the Warriors in the stocking? They need those guys to step up big time because this season is kind of just really, I don't know, quite mediocre from the reigning champs. They're young guys like Moses Moody, Jonathan Kuminga, and James Wiseman. He's been down in the G League. Like, they're just trying to get him some run, just trying to teach him how to play basketball properly, Dicko. So, look, I think, maybe a instructional DVD for James Wiseman would be a good one, something like that. How to pass out of the post. Carlos will probably teach him a couple of things about that as well, I'd say. But I'd go with Carlos here. I think the Warriors probably would be a little bit too strong, but that's a great matchup. Like, that's awesome. Jaren Jackson Jr. is absolutely flying, blocking everything in sight. If Rudolph tries to, knock down that door, Jaren Jackson just swat it away. That's how much he's blocking at the moment. It's great. But I'd have to go the Warriors with Carlos.
All right, Saucy Santa, we're going to wrap this up with you, the Nuggets and the Suns.
Well, all the Nuggets need for Christmas is just health. Did you know, they've just not played any games together, basically. They're big three. You've got Jam and Jamal Murray. You've got Michael Porter Jr. You've got the big Joker. I think they've played 38 games in 2021. And they've played 12 this year. I'm like, can we just get them healthy and on the court at the same time? That's all I want for Christmas, just in general. Just nothing else. I'm fine. That's just, look, Santa can just roll down the chimney, just go, James, here you go. It's a healthy Nuggets team. We're like, thanks, buddy. On your bike. I'm done. But I just want the Nuggets to win this one. I think they're going to be too big, too good for this Suns team. But I just want a healthy Nuggets team, Dicko. That's all I want. Just tee that up. Let's go.
Did you hear that, Carlos? He almost broke into a Mariah Carey. All I want for Christmas. You could just see this guy on a roll. Now, Nuggets or the Suns with you? Who are you leaning towards?
Yeah, I'm Sam. I got the Nuggets just like James. I think the Nuggets, if they can be healthy come Christmas time, which is right around the corner, if they can be healthy, I think they'll blow the Suns team out. The Suns seem to be trending in a losing direction right now. They have a lot of internal stuff going on. I love this Nuggets team. I think the Joker is amazing. They got Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray has been coming on so strong since he's been back. So if they can be healthy, they'll get that Christmas wish.
Well, we can't wait for Christmas Day. It's going to be absolute beauty. Stick around because Carlos and James are going to go head-to-head in this weekend's The Big Call.
The betting brand for sports fans. That's better. Gamble responsibly.
It's another huge weekend of games, and we've got Carlos, Boozer and James Clement here to make the big calls for you. Carlos, I'm going to start with you. This is a massive clash between the Warriors and the 76ers. We've got Steph Curry taking on James Harden. Where are you leaning in this one?
I'm going with the Sixers. I think Joel Embiid does a good job of being a Batman or a Superman or whoever you want to call him for the Philadelphia 76ers. It seems like he can do it all. I think he's the difference maker in this game.
Warriors and the Sixers.
I'm going to go the Sixers, Dicko. They're awesome. They're absolutely basically you can throw Embiid at anybody at the moment and he's going to dominate. But the Warriors are just a little bit too small for me in this, and I'll let the Sixers to dominate. All
right, the Joker and AD in this one, the Nuggets versus the Lakers, James.
This is so tasty. Look, this game, Nuggets in LA, you've got Joker, you've got AD, two of the preeminent big men in the NBA. We talked about them last week. And AD, absolutely flying. MVP level stuff. Joker, back-to-back MVPs already in the bag. You love to see that. I actually think the Nuggets can probably take this one out. They're just a little bit more consistent. Jamal Murray's really coming along at the moment. They're just deeper. The Lakers have been good, but they've not been great. The Nuggets have that sort of top side, sort of upside that they can actually hit that the Lakers can't. So give me the Nuggets.
All right. Now, Carlos, are you sticking with James, the Nuggets, or are you heading to Lakers?
James, you forgot the Lakers got LeBron James. I think he's going to figure out a way to get this win for the Lakers tonight. I think it is going to be a battle of the big men. two great big men, but LeBron James is going to figure it out.
What about the Blazers and the Mavericks? Is it Dame time or is it Luka's scoring Carlos in this one?
Ooh, I think this is a really good game because the Trailblazers have been coming on very strong. Anthony Simons has been playing terrific along with Dame. But I think I'm going with Luka Magic. I think Luka has a 30-point triple-double in this one. It's just going to be a little too much for the Trailblazers to handle, even though I am a big Blazers fan.
You sticking with Carlos?
I love that. The 30-point triple-double call by Carlos. He's just stolen the words right out of my mouth. I think this is an absolute belter of a matchup, Dicko, because you've got Dame time on one time. Dame Lillard, he's back, he's healthy, he's firing. I reckon we can see a 40-piece come out of Dame and a 30-piece come out of our man Luka, because in terms of like the defensive nous at the point of attack, I think for that Dallas team, Dame should be able to sneak a bit loose. Anthony Simons, Jeremy Grant, they got weapons. I'm still going to go the Mavs though. I think the 3-point shooting gets a bit hot against this Portland defense, and at home, Mavs get it done.
All right, now on Sunday, Pelicans and the Suns, James.
Well, a bit of argy-bargy in this one, Dicko. Love it. Zion dunks, in the last couple of seconds, and the Suns have a big old sook. What are they doing? You don't want him to dunk at the end of the game, then play some defense. It's not actual rocket surgery here. Just stop him from dunking it. That was a sick dunk, though. 360 windmill. That's what I want for Christmas, to be able to do that. The big rig of Zion. You love to see it. But this is so, contemptuous, basically, on both sides now. These teams hate each other, and it's great. They're playing basically 3 times within a week and a half. I love this. This time we're in Phoenix, I believe. Bring it on. I think the Pelicans can roll them again. I just think the size, the speed of this team just really stymies the Suns. And as Carlos has mentioned, like the Phoenix Suns are in a bit of struggle town at the moment, but give me this matchup for days. I cannot wait. Get amongst it.
Highlight for me so far is you saying that you want to dunk. You need the biggest stepladder of all time. If you haven't seen him live, Carlos, he's knee high to a grasshopper, this guy. All right, let's look. Pelicans or the Suns for you?
Yeah, I agree with James. I think this is one of those new age kind of rivalries that are brewing amongst us. Obviously, the Suns kicked the Pelicans out of the playoffs last year. Then Zion's back this year when he didn't play in the playoffs last year. Does that nasty 360 windmill that, I wish I could do that, but obviously I can't. But it was fun to watch. I think the Pelicans win this game. I just feel like they're rolling right now. They're number one in the Western Conference. They're clicking on all cylinders. They're playing great defense. They do have great size and they do have great speed. And Zion is really running the show over there, which is, he's so dynamic of a player, him being that size and being able to put up 30-point games every single night. The Pels win this game.
Your old team, the Jazz, taking on the Bucks. Are you sticking with your old team?
I'll go to Utah to go snowboard. The Bucks win this game, though. I think Giannis has too much. The Bucks they just have everything clicking, especially if they get Drew Holiday back. I really do love the Utah Jazz. It was so good to me there. And they had a great early start to the season, but now teams are catching up to them and teams are starting to get wins and more wins and more wins. And I feel like Milwaukee will find a way to get this win.
Who are you leaning towards?
Yeah, you got to go Milwaukee at home. I agree with Carlos there. It's just, they're too good. And I think the Jazz, if this was in Utah, they probably have a chance, but this is in Milwaukee. I think Giannis and Middleton and co get this one done against the Jazz. They're just not quite deep enough on the wings to slow down a big unit like Giannis Antetokounmpo.
All right, next one up. Now the Mavs, they're going to find it hard to get past the Cavs at home, but you tipping the upset?
Well, I mean, you've already mentioned how I can't jump over a phone book. I'm going to jump at this one. Give me the Cavs at home easily, I think. The Mavs, look, we've seen them on back-to-backs. They've pulled out amazing wins before, but then they've also rested players a couple of weeks ago when they got absolutely obliterated by the Bulls. The Cavs will be hungry for this one. Mavs, tough weekend. I think they get the first game against the Blazers, but then they drop that Cavs game. But Mavs-Cavs, I love just this setup. It's a weird mix. You've got the two big dudes. You've got Evan Mobley, you've got Jarrett Go-the-Throw-Allen, and then you've got Darius Garland, and you've got Donnie Mitchell against Luka and those big wings. It should be really good, but I think the Cavs will win it.
Carlos, Mavs or the Cavs?
James, you are speaking the truth right now. I got the same pick. I think the Cavs are going to be phenomenal at home. They got so much young talent. They're doing a great job of mixing in Kevin Love and some of the older guys, but that front line is incredible. You think about what they have. And I'm not knocking the Mavericks. I think the Mavericks are really, really good. Just coming off of a back-to-back, like James mentioned, going against that size at home in Cleveland. The Cavs are playing terrific. That's going to be one of the teams to watch come playoff time. The Cleveland Cavaliers may knock off somebody big in the postseason.
Well, that's it for our big call segment. Carlos, you've been outstanding. We've loved having you on the show. We look forward to having you back on the show next year.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, guys.
All right, before we sign off for the year, Jaymz, I said last week your middle name was Multi and you delivered. You are the mailman. What are we looking forward to and what do you got for us this week?
Just call me Carl Malone there, Dicko. I love it. I'll take Sacramento over Detroit this weekend, Boston over Orlando, and Brooklyn over Toronto. Multi that one up, feeling good about it. Just the head-to-heads, I think those three teams win that one pretty easily.
All right, that's it for our show for 2022. Hopefully you enjoyed the smorgasbord we've dished up and the smorgasbord ahead throughout the festive season. We'll be back on the 12th of January and James's beard will be on the desk. And guess what? If he doesn't tip a winner this weekend, he's promised to dye it white like Santa Claus. Enjoy your festive season.